Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought we would talk about the Rocket Storm event and how to easily grind it, mainly because this event has just started today, and also, if I'm quite honest, it should be a lot easier to grind than a lot of the other events that we've had. You also have the first few kind of marks being 20,000, which makes it a little bit easier, and then also the other marks are 35,000. If you have been able to grind the other events this year, which have been 45,000 mission score events, this one should be a lot easier for you. Now, having that said, I do actually find the ground events the hardest to grind out of the three. That's just because of the fact that you have usually less of modifiers on them, and you normally have to do more stuff. You have to be a bit more attentive, but generally that's fine. You know, you have a bunch of vehicles and different stuff to play, and also other ways of getting scores, such as like scouting assists or, doing stuff in cast. That means that you can pump up that score if you really need to. Now, the interesting thing, at least right now, when it comes to the Rocket Storm event, is there's a bunch of other stuff going on at the same time, which is just kind of crazy. So the fact that we have so many different events going on means that you can kind of focus on those events and the marker distinction will complete by itself. For example, even just today, you have the Honor and Loyalty Battle Pass Challenge, where basically what you have to do is get different amounts of kills at different ranks. So you could work on that in ground. It's only, I think, 4 kills per rank, and you have to do it in 4 different ones. So that could easily be that. You also have a bunch of decals that are available from the monthly decals. The ones that I have left are the British ground one, and then also the Soviet ground one. But there's other ones such as the tank destroyers for Italy that you could do, and then also the light tanks for France. All of these are stuff that you can focus on. Even the Japanese one, which is for ground vehicles too. You could use these as barometers to be able to actually just complete the marks of distinction. You even have Legion Arsenal, which is of course the Battle Pass challenge once again. All you got to do is play the LVT 440, which should be available to do in this event, even if it's low rank, because it's an event vehicle. And then also on top of it, you have the Tsar Palatinate Offensive, which once again uses rank 3 and rank 4 stuff for Germany and also America. So that is just the stuff that's going on today when it comes to the event, and this is going to continue going forward. There's going to always be a bunch of stuff going on, and that is just kind of the nuts thing at the end of the day. That to me is something which is just kind of crazy, that we have so much stuff going on. And then next week there's going to be the update, which is probably going to be coming out, so that's going to kind of happen on top of this event too. So what I would say with this event, since there is so much stuff going on, and also since we know that the update's going to come out and it's pretty heavily air focused, I would say focus on the ground event right now to try and get it done as quickly as possible on each of the days, because you never know when that update's going to come out, and you never know what it's going to break. And I know that sounds awful, right? I understand that having that kind of view on things is probably not great, but when it comes to the last few months, there has been quite a few days when it comes to War Thunder when you've just been playing and then the servers annihilate themselves, or Gaijin decides to throw in a little update here and it breaks something in the game. So it's just something where it's a bit of self-preservation, where you don't want to end up in a situation where you wanted to kind of grind stuff out and then you weren't able to. So focusing on it first and foremost out of everything, that's probably the way to go. You can also match it with the dailies as well. That's something that, I've done quite a lot in the past, and it's generally worked very well. And I'm sure many others have done that too. So that's really good to see. And at the same time, 35k, if you're doing it in ground RB, you've got the 1.33 times. And as long as you're doing it rank 5 or above, you get even additional kind of multipliers on it. As somebody who has been doing a lot of the kind of pages of history, which have very similar setups, if not exactly the same setups for mission score, it really doesn't take too long to get the 20k. And then once you get the 30k, the 35k, which I'm pretty sure is happening about oh no, I think it's the third marker distinction where it switches over. You won't have to worry about anything else while it's going on. So you don't have to worry about the sailor star, and you don't have to worry about anything else. So it should be easy to kind of push forward and do. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would just say, crank out the 20k. It shouldn't take too long. Should be generally fine. So in terms of lineups that I was thinking of, there are quite a few which are sat around the place, which are pretty chill to play, and ones that at least I personally enjoy from just a relaxing point of view. Something like for America, I've been enjoying 6-0 quite a lot, with the Hellcats, for example, just kind of playing them and then also backing them up with some of the medium tanks and heavy tanks there, but mainly using the Hellcats to get into planes and then carrying with the planes. That's been something that's worked pretty well. 5-7 as well is quite a nice little BR at the moment for the Americans. And if you want to go kind of higher BR, there's also a decent amount of vehicles at 8-3, which all do pretty well and have different jobs, but all are very positive. You also have stuff like the XM800T that you can have a bit of fun with and then just kind of wander around and enjoy yourself with. With Germany, it's 9-3. It's always 9-3. It has to be 9-3. 9-3 is just insane for Germany. 10-7, of course, is also insane. And there are many lower BRs where Germany is fantastic too. There is actually quite a lot of tank destroyers right now which are in pretty decent places because they've been lower BR'd, which has been quite good. For USSR, once again, the 7-3 is always a banger, especially with the 2S19 coming in, which is going to be around that BR2. The BTR-80A, the IS-3, and also the ZSU-23-4M2 always comes to mind as a fantastic lineup. For Britain, you have the 4-7 bangers, but then also you have some higher tier stuff as well nowadays. The 10-0-10-3 area is definitely a area to focus on. For Japan, 6-7 is always the way to go for these events. It's rank 4, so you have pretty high modifiers, but also at the same time you have a ridiculous lineup of Type 61s, STA 3s, Bulldogs, and also the STAs, and the Type 60 SPRGs to be able to tide you over. All of that works fantastically well. China has a lot of very nice 9-0 vehicles or around that BR vehicles, and then also they have a pretty solid 6-0 5-7 area with the Hellcats and also the T-3485s as backup. For Italy, at least for me, what I usually like focusing on is playing their rank 3 lineup at 3-7. Chaffee, Sherman, and then also the Semavente 1953. All of this works incredibly well together, and you also have the Contrario, which is about. But there are other lineups, once again, 9-3, very strong for the Italians too. French, 7-7. 7-7 will get everything done, or if you don't want to do 7-7, there are higher BRs or lower BRs, which are also very good. And then Sweden is, of course, just a nation where you can kind of grind through it and just get it done. It's not one of those where you have to pick a specific lineup. There's something at every BR in Sweden, which is positive. And Israel, I would probably say the 8-7 lineup is the strongest, with the Turan 6, the Magak 6s, the Shotkal Gimel, and then also some of the AA and AT support too. So there's plenty of really nice lineups to do this event with. This event is so far the easiest we've had this year, and it's also for a pretty cool vehicle. So I wouldn't get too stressed about it. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just obviously do the standard stuff. Don't look at the marker distinction score as you're playing. Focus on your dailies, focus on your specials, and all of the other things that are going on right now, and you'll be able to get it done without even thinking about it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecovo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.